trained young professionals and supported education and healthcare initiatives. He also hosts the weekly Road Safety Matters program on Unique FM, educating drivers on safer road practices, an effort widely praised for its impact on reducing accidents. Despite his impressive achievements, he is known for his humility and grounded leadership. Today, he guides J.K. Hogley Transport toward cleaner energy fleets, greener technologies, and advanced operational systems, and he mentors the next generation to uphold the company's value. Mr. Joseph K. Hogley stands as a pillar of Ghana's downstream petroleum industry, a leader whose vision and humanity continue to inspire and strengthen the nation. With close to 600 trucks in his company's fleet and a total of over 700 people in his employ, J.K. Hogley and his thriving business spells great promise for Ghana's future. Ghana highly esteems your contribution, sir. Thank you. God bless you.
In honor of Mr. Joseph K. Hogley. Mr. Joseph K. Hogley is a pioneering force in Ghana's downstream petroleum sector and the visionary founder of J.K. Hogley Transport and Company Limited, a company that has grown from modest origins into one of West Africa's most respected and reliable petroleum haulage enterprises. Through discipline, innovation, and unwavering commitment to integrity, he transformed the transportation of petroleum products at a time when the industry faced significant inefficiencies and safety challenges. His introduction of modern fleets, advanced tracking systems, and stringent safety protocols set new standards for operational excellence and contributed meaningfully to Ghana's national energy security. His influence extends across the sub-region, where his well-structured cross-border logistics network has facilitated the efficient movement of petroleum products of Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, and neighboring countries. By strengthening regional fuel distribution systems, he has played an essential role in mobilizing the ECOWAS energy supply chain and advancing regional trade. Mr. Hogley's leadership has earned his company consistent national and industry recognition for over 2 decades. J.K. Hogley Transport & Co. Limited has received repeated honors of Haulage Company of the Year from the Ghana Oil and Gas Awards, along with numerous distinctions in safety, corporate governance, and logistics management. His recent achievements, including the 2024 Haulage Company of the Year, Best Haulier of 2024, and the Health, Safety, Security, and Environment Excellence Award, reinforces his reputation for unparalleled consistency, professionalism, and service excellence. The prestigious Pioneer Award for Excellence in Petroleum Haulage further affirms his extraordinary contributions to the sector. Beyond corporate success, he has demonstrated a profound commitment to national development and community upliftment. His company has created thousands of direct and indirect jobs while serving as a training hub for young professionals in logistics and engineering. As a philanthropist, he supports education and healthcare initiatives that benefit disadvantaged groups. His weekly public education program, Road Safety Matters on Unique FM, has significantly advanced public awareness on defensive driving, vehicle maintenance, and road safety, contributing to efforts to reduce accidents involving heavy-duty vehicles. Esteemed for his humility, ethical leadership, and dedication to continuous improvement, Mr. Hugel remains an influential mentor and a champion of sustainable transport solutions. His ongoing work to explore cleaner energy fleets and greener technologies reflects his forward-looking approach to industry development. Recognition of his trailblazing leadership in petroleum logistics, his transformative contribution to national and regional energy distribution, his exemplary commitment to safety and professional excellence, and his enduring service to community and country. UPSA is proud to confer on you, Mr. Joseph K. Hugel, the degree of Doctor of Business honoris causa. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
By the powers vested in me by the University of Professional Studies Act, I, Dr. K.K. Sapon, the Chancellor of the University, confer on you Mr. Joseph Kweku Hugel, Doctor of Business, honoris causa. Thank you.
I will now invite the two awardees to join Mr. Hugel. Mr. Hugel, please don't go. Prof. Alabi, Honorable Dr. Zeneto, can you please join Mr. Hugel? And then I will invite the Chancellor, the Chairman of Council, and the Vice Chancellor to congratulate them and take pictures with them. His Majesty, Nene, please, can you join us to congratulate them and take a picture, please? Thank you very much. They do the photographs, after which the espousals will kindly join us for the photographs. Can we have the espousals join them, please, for the pictures? Or their partners. You're welcome. Or, please, after the program, there will be more partners. Thank you very much. Thank you. You may now have your seats.
Thank you very much. Let's congratulate the recipients with a round of applause. Thank you very much. Chancellor, sir, may I now respectfully invite Professor an acceptance speech on behalf of the honorees. Let's welcome him with a clap.
You hold this one. Thank you. I'm going to tell a story as my acceptance speech. Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, members of council, distinguished faculty, staff, students, alumni, invited guests, and I've seen the first chancellor of the university, who is now a member of the Council of State here, His Royal Majesty Menedrulo. I've also seen my team, the former registrar, the director of academic affairs. I've seen them here. Ladies and gentlemen, friends of the press, standing before this distinguished congregation, I am filled with humility and deep gratitude. To receive an honorary doctorate from the University of Professional Studies, Accra, an institution that shaped my life as a student, lecturer, rector, and vice chancellor, is not only a personal honor, but a celebration of how far
we have journeyed together as scholars, builders, and dreamers. This recognition is not merely an award. It symbolizes a collective story of faith, resilience, and transformation. The beginnings. My journey with this institution began in September 1976 when I entered the then Institute of Professional Studies as a young student. Resources were limited. Classrooms were few, but our dreams were boundless. In 1978, a student demonstration led to a one-year closure. Yet, when IPS reopened, we returned with renewed determination, committed to learning and building a future worth believing in. From those early years, I learned a truth that has guided me throughout my life. Institutions endure not through comfort, but through commitment. Returning to self. After my studies in the former Soviet Union, Russia, I returned to this institute in 1987 as a lecturer. The late Mr. Buama, head of the institute at that time, who was the head when I was a student here, often engaged me in conversation. And I once jokingly told him, and later I also told his successor, who also happened to be my lecturer when I was a student here. And I quote, "I will return one day to lead and transform the institution." Destiny listed. I later traveled to the University of Strathclyde in Glasgow for further studies and returned in January 1993 with renewed strength. In 1997, I became a member of Parliament and later Minister of State for 2 regions. I applied for 4 years leave of absence. And as fate will have it, both my party and I lost the election exactly 4 years. In 2001, I returned once again to my academic home after we lost the election. Wherever I go, I return to serve. I've attended about 4 universities in the world, but my own university in this country is the Institute of Professional Studies. I attended Kharkov State University in Ukraine. That's the university where the first atomic bomb was made in the world. I attended the Russia Economic University in Moscow, which happens to be their first-class university in economics. And I also attended the University of Strathclyde in Glasgow, but none in Ghana, the University of Professional Studies. Wherever I go, I return to serve. Over the years, I was privileged to serve as a lecturer, senior lecturer, head of marketing department, dean of management, pro-rector, rector, and the first vice chancellor of the University of Professional Studies. Each role was a sacred trust, a duty to nurture people, ideas, and progress. A vision for transformation. When I assumed office as rector, I told colleagues and students, and I quote, "Together, we will transform this institution into a true center of excellence." Some doubted, given our limited resources, but I assured them. And I said again, and I quote, "One day, you may have to remove your shoes before entering this campus, not because of a rule, but because of the dignity and beauty we will build together." This message was clear. Excellence is possible right here in Ghana. Transformation begins with vision, but it's achieved through people. One key attribute of a transformative leader is how you handle resistance. Because when we are transforming, there are problems. Resistance is not an enemy. It is often fear of the unknown. It is simply energy moving in a different direction, or energy driven in a different direction. A leader must rechannel it into positive use. And in my experience, this is always possible. Building the human spirit before building structures. The first stage of transformation was not infrastructure. It was people. Our human resource needed strengthening, motivation, and recognition. I knew that my greatest asset was time. My greatest asset was time. And I dedicated it to expanding opportunities and stabilizing the institution. Expanding access and stabilizing the institution. First, shifted government-funded programs. It's a government school, so government handles tuition and everything. So I grouped that, and I made that the morning school, or the morning session. So we had afternoon and evening free, and the place here was quiet. So we introduced the evening school, attracting mature and working students, generating revenue, and reducing activism. No, the morning school was full of the young ones, and they needed everything, but we had no resources. So I needed another group to balance them. So the evening school, who were workers and they needed to complete quickly, would never allow them to demonstrate. I had a peace of mind to run the school, to balance the system. I further created a weekend school, expanding access and strengthening alumni work network. The alumni was dead, but these were workers who will finish in some few years and become members of the alumni. So we expanded, created a weekend school. And the alumni is the strongest marketing tool for any university. So I worked on that. We secured the presidential charter giving IPS autonomy to award its own degrees. We are under the University of Ghana. It had its own problems. So we moved for the presidential charter and we got it. But there was one key problem. Every year, universities have to increase their fees, all universities, because of inflation. And this attracted students' unrest every time. Negotiation with the LSRC, a whole lot of problems. So I sat one day and I said, look, I need peace of mind to run and develop this school. So this must stop. So I came with what we call the fee determination policy. And how does it work? If a student is to pay 100 cedis, for example, in the first year, next year, because of inflation, let's assume it is 10%, he may now pay 100 cedis plus 10% of 100 cedis, which is 110. The third year, he will pay 110 cedis plus 10% of 110, and it goes on to the fourth year. But students will not allow you. So what did we do? We came out with this policy where 100 cedis year 1, 102 year 2, 121 year 3, and then year 4, you add all and divide by 4, and that's what you pay the first year to the end. So they paid in advance, but they didn't know. That stabilized students' unrest. And I called the mathematicians, and we sat together, and we kept it in a mathematical model, and that was the fee determination policy. It ended it. So when other colleagues in the university, from other universities go on demonstration because of this, we're at peace here. The next is the rampant disturbance from ECG, where they'll come and put off our lives because the government was not paying, and of course, the school cannot pay. So I sat one day and I told myself, how can I solve this? It was in almost all the universities. Then I remembered something. When I was in the University of Strathclyde, my department, which happened to be the marketing department, was on a very steep hill. Before you climb, you have to take a long breath. And you climb it for about 10 to 15 minutes, then you get to the department. So normally you get to the department and you don't like to come down until you finish everything because of the hill. There was a day I was in a lecture room and something told me that I left my lights on in my hostel. And those of us who studied in Europe, you know what it means if you leave your lights on in your room. So there was opportunity cost. Do I leave, descend, and go and put off my light, or sit in the lecture room and bear the consequence? Opportunity cost. So I decided to leave the lecture hall, went to the hostel, opened my door, and I realized that I kept off the light. The ordeal is how to climb back to the department. I did that. So in my office with this problem, I called the fiscal development officer and I asked him, the project at the hostel was about 85% complete. Then I asked him, is it possible to meter every room? He gave me 1 week. He went and came and said yes. The cost, another 1 week, 2 million additional. Let's take to the meeting and approve. Which company? He said ECG. Then I said, okay. So the over 300 rooms in the student hostel, every room is metered. I never had problem with ECG, and that solved my problem. If you like, put on your light till daybreak as a student, you pay your own like this. Now, developing the academic talents. At the time I took over, only one lecturer had a doctorate degree, and recruitment was frozen. I had to develop my academic staff. I personally visited the National Accreditation Board to present our challenge. The NAB was led by the late Mr. Date, and presented my challenge. The National Accreditation Board recommended to me SMC University for doctoral studies. But for the purpose of due diligence, I then wrote officially to the National Accreditation Board, and they responded to tell me, yes, it's a good university, and continue. I then wrote to the Swiss Embassy And the Swiss embassy also responded positively. It's a good university. And together with my registrar, he's here today, we made a trip to Switzerland to visit the university for more due diligence. And it was positive. Participants in the program went through the academic rigor. Many spent over 5 years for their doctorate. Today, they serve as heads of departments, vice chancellors, even some are advisors to the Bank of Ghana. I heard some few days ago from the GTech. And when they completed, GTech endorsed their certificates and said they were recognized in Ghana. We should not use regulatory authority to destroy them. When I was a young minister, getting to Christmas, I used to get a lot of hampers filled in my rooms, and I used to call friends to come and pick them as a young minister. I told this story to one regulator. Now came year 2000, election year. 7 December, up to 7 December, no hamper. Then, after 7 December, no winner. So no hamper again. There was no hamper until we finished Christmas. And there was no hamper for the whole year. That was when I realized that the hampers were meant for the chair, not me. When we are in a position, we should be very careful the way we use power. We shouldn't abuse it. Transformation began with people, inspiring them, trusting them, and empowering them. The fruits of collective efforts. Gradually, staff, students, and alumni embrace the shared vision. A vision must be well communicated and must be collectively owned before you can transform a system. Students who used to demonstrate, having seen the vision, now voluntarily met and contributed every year to support the Vice Chancellor to build a new student hostel, apart from their school fees. The UTAC UPSA and TEU never went on demonstration, even though their mother unions went on demonstration. And how did we achieve this? I told them, you can join the mother union to go on demonstration, but this is your campus, and look at their campus. We are all here. And I used to have a very funny story. If you eat cassava and pepper in the morning and you wear a suit, nobody knows that you are eating cassava and pepper. Your environment must be very good for you. So develop your environment. Students were paying for the evening and weekend program for us to develop the school. And you say you are going on demonstration. Go. They never went on demonstration. And all this, I'm proud to see my chiefs here. My chiefs from Nongwa gave me all the necessary support to run the affairs of this school. And I want to salute you for your presence. For this support, I'm deeply grateful. These collective efforts led to recognition such as Chartered Institute of Marketing Man of the Year, the first time it went to an educational institution. I was awarded that. The All African Students Union Best Vice Chancellor of the Year. The most influential public sector leader by Imani Ghana. And the Order of the Voter, among others. These honors reflected teamwork, sacrifice, and a shared sense of purpose. To everyone who walked this journey with me, I say thank you. The essence of transformation. Ladies and gentlemen, transformation is not an event. It is a journey built on discipline, vision, humility, and integrity. A true transformative leader builds systems so solid that no successor, I repeat, no successor can afford to underperform. Because the people themselves will demand excellence. So you can't lead this school and underperform. The people will demand excellence. And that is the hallmark of a true transformative leader. The mark of a true leader, is the test of absence. When you are no more there, this is the mark of a true leader. Leadership is what happens every day when leaders and members create value that makes others happier, not to make them sad. At IPS, UPSA, we build our values on excellence, accountability, professionalism, and service. We nurture not just scholars, but leaders. Not certificates, but character. And I said we also nurture leaders. When I took over, my students will go for the News Congress and will come and introduce themselves. Say we went and we won secretary, treasurer. The one day I called them. So you're happy with secretary and treasurer when your colleagues are presidents, news presidents, and secretaries. What do you mean? So I sat down with my students and we drew a plan of action to capture the nooks. Ladies and gentlemen, the plan worked. And before I left the school, we produced 3 nooks presidents. We nurture leaders. We also produced 2 secretary generals of the All African Students Union. Rewarding hard work. Throughout my academic and public life, one principle has guided me. Hard work must never go unnoticed. Recognition need not always be monetary. Sometimes it is a thank you, a handshake, or a public acknowledgement. This simple act builds pride and strengthens institution. Ghana and Africa must reward merit and celebrate excellence if we are to transform. When I completed my second term as Vice Chancellor at age 58, that was in 2016, I converted my remaining years, 2 years, into sabbatical to allow the next generation to lead. I didn't want to be here, to allow them to lead. Because I was key in getting them there. The previous Vice Chancellor was somebody I mentored. And the current Vice Chancellor, like he said, I mentored him. He was the SRC president when I was a lecturer here. And I'll tell you a very funny story. The students decided to rebel against him. Then he came to my office. Then I look at the young man, SRC president, they want to overthrow you. I told them that, number one, we are going to build a new library for this school. Go and tell the students that you have forced us to build a library. Number two, you are a member of council. They give you allowance. After every meeting, go and sit down with the vocal guys and treat them nicely. When he finished his course here, I moved for us to engage him on national service in the school. And I continue to mentor him. Today, he has read a citation for my honorary doctorate degree. We nurture leaders. I deeply appreciate the current UPSA administration for their maturity, respect, and recognition of past contributors. Their gesture strengthens institutional memory and ensures continuity. As I look around this campus today, I am filled with joy. It was not easy, but we did it. Together, we did it. If my journey teaches anything, it is this: vision must meet integrity. Hard work must meet teamwork. And success must be accompanied by gratitude. To the young people here, do not wait for perfect conditions. Start where you are. Use what you have and give your best. Hard work may delay, but never goes unnoticed or unheard. I cannot conclude without expressing gratitude to the President and the people of Ghana for once again granting me the opportunity to serve this country. When I assumed office as board chairman of GCB Bank in January, the share price was about 6 cedis per share. Working with my board, we recruited top professionals, strengthened the executive committee, and implemented a new strategic direction, supported by a strong national economy. Today, as we speak, from 6 cedis, the share price is 19 cedis. In the coming months, we will continue to work to make GCB Bank not only Ghana's #1 bank, but one of the strongest in West Africa. As I receive this honorary doctorate, I am filled not with pride, but with gratitude to God for His sustaining grace, to my family for their unwavering support, to colleagues, students, and alumni for their trust. In fact, they really trusted. It's not easy. And to this great university, my university, for allowing me to contribute to its story. Ladies and gentlemen, the true measure of leadership is how deeply we serve. The true measure of success is the legacy we have. The true measure of transformation is the lives we touch. As I drive past this university, My satisfaction is not only in its development, but also in the thousands of jobs created around it through the transformation we pursued. As a nation, if we recognize performance regardless of political affiliation, Ghana will have many role models for the youth. They need them. We should not wait for a particular party to be in power before we recognize or appreciate excellence. Let us continue to build a university and a nation rooted in excellence, integrity, and service. May UPSA remain a beacon of professionalism, innovation, and ethical leadership. May future generations look back and say, they dreamt, they built, they transformed. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.
The true impact of transformation is the lives we touch. May we all live here making a difference in other people's lives. Thank you very much, Prof. Alabi, for your nuggets of wisdom. And we thank you very much. We now turn, Chancellor Sir, to the presentation of academic awards. May I now invite the Pro-Vice Chancellor, Professor Emmanuel Asamoah, to present the academic prizes. Let's welcome him.
Chancellor Sir, may I present the graduates who have excelled for the award of the academic prizes. When your name is mentioned, kindly come forward to receive your prize from your dean. At this moment, I would like to call on the Dean of School of Graduate Studies to please step forward to present the awards to deserving graduates. Before I proceed, I wish to acknowledge the sponsors of the academic prizes with gratitude. These are generous donors who have supported the presentation of these awards. Mr. Yaro Kasambata, Coordinator, MAP Security and Intelligence Management, the National Security Council Secretariat, Dr. Andrews Ayiku, Dr. Michael Mixon, Zilt Research, and Madam Obobia Dakon Opoku. We really appreciate your generosity. Now, the presentation of awards. The best graduating student for project work, ministries cohorts. The award, ladies and gentlemen, goes to FRV Pa Kofi Alfred. Please put your hands together as he comes. Congratulations. Now, the next award is for the overall best graduating student project work campus cohorts. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together as we welcome Smart Blessed God's Brain, also known as Captain Smart. Congratulations, sir. Well-deserved award. The next award is sponsored by Mr. Yaro Kasambata and is for the overall best graduating student MAP Security and Intelligence Management campus cohort. Ladies and gentlemen, with an FCGPA of 3.59, let's welcome Joyce Amelewu the award winner. The next award, ladies and gentlemen, is sponsored by the National Security Council Secretariat and is for the overall best graduating student, MAP Security and Intelligence Management Ministries cohort. The award, ladies and gentlemen, goes to Genevieve Adams. Please put your hands together as she comes to receive her award. The next award is for the overall best graduating students, MA Digital and Strategic Management, with an FCGPA of 3.8. Ladies and gentlemen, the award goes to Duku Akosua Jemfiwa. She's coming all the way from the back. Please clap for her as she comes to receive her prize. We will turn our attention to the overall best graduating student, MSc Leadership and Organizational Development. This award is sponsored by Dr. Michael Mixon, and with an FCGP of 3.92, the award goes to Aflo Arnold Baylor. Congratulations for the hard work. The next award is sponsored by Zilt Research and is for the overall best graduating student, MSc Procurement Management. With an FCGPA of 3.92, the award, ladies and gentlemen, goes to Klakani Kate Jidula. We are once again grateful to Madam Obobia Daku Opoku, who is the sponsor for the next award and is for the overall best graduating student, MA Brands and Communication. With an FCGPA of 3.89, the award goes to Evans Kekrebesi Constance Abra. Please put your hands together as she comes to receive her award. Thank you. We are extremely grateful to all the sponsors. It is our hope and belief that next year when we call upon you, you will generously support these awards. Thank you very much.
Congratulations to our academic prize winners. Chancellor Sir, I now call on the Acting Dean of the School of Graduate Studies to present those doctorate and master's degree students who have fulfilled the degree requirements of the University of Professional Studies. Let's welcome the Dean, Acting Dean of the School of Graduate Studies.
May I invite all the graduates of the School of Graduate Studies to come forward for acknowledgement.
We'll first turn our attention to the award for Doctor of Philosophy in Marketing. When your name is mentioned, please walk to the platform with your cap for acknowledgement. The first is for Doctor of Philosophy in Marketing, and it goes to Ado Paulina. Her thesis title is Drivers of Contemporary Marriage Reception Consumption, Implications for Marketing. And the thesis is supervised by Professor Nathan Austin, Professor Alexander Preko, Professor Kofi Osei Frimpong, and Dr. Ibn Kailan Abdul Hamid. Please put your hands together as she comes. The next recipient of the Doctor of Philosophy in Marketing goes to Adenuchi Kingsford. His thesis title is Ethical Perceptions of Online Behavioral Advertising Value Co-Creation Intentions on Digital Sharing Economy Platforms. The supervisors of this thesis are Professor Simon Pierre Sigwe and Professor Mrs. Fidelis Kwanzaa. The next recipient of the Doctor of Philosophy in Marketing goes to Agodo Lovelace. Her thesis title is A Phenomenological Study of Employee Lived Experience with Digital Transformation in the Banking Sector in Ghana. This thesis is supervised by Professor Nathan Austin, Dr. Mrs. Juliana Akushika Ando, Professor Mrs. Fidelis Kwanzaa, and Professor Joseph Tofuo. The next recipient of the Doctor of Philosophy in Marketing goes to Akwensi V. Divine Mauli. His thesis title is Examining the Effect of Political Party Brand Equity on Political Participation, Theory of Voter Action Perspective. This thesis is supervised by Professor Abednego Fenhi Oko Amate, Professor Henry Boateng, and Professor George Amwako. The next recipient of Doctor of Philosophy in Marketing is Anane Donko Linda. Her thesis title is Assessing Strategies and Enrollment Management in Private Institutions of Higher Learning, the Moderator-Mediator Roles of Technology and Leadership Style. This thesis is supervised by Professor Nathan Austin, Dr. Mrs. Juliana Akushika Ando, and Dr. Ibn Kailan Abdul Hamid. Congratulations. The next recipient of the Doctor of Philosophy in Marketing goes to Asari Charles. His thesis title is Omnichannel Integration Quality and Brand Evangelism in Retail Banking, the Role of Customer Value Co-Creation Behavior and relationship proneness. The thesis is supervised by Professor Nathan Austin and Professor Alexander Preko. The next recipient of the Doctor of Philosophy in Marketing is Bob Kofi Francis. His thesis title is Customer-Based Brand Equity and Customer Retention in Rural Banking, Insights from a Developing Economy. This thesis is ably supervised by Professor Bruno Skivinsky and Dr. Ibn Kailan Abdul Hamid. Ladies and gentlemen, the next recipient of the Doctor of Philosophy in Marketing is Cole Nana Ako. The thesis title of this gentleman is Disruptive Marketing Communication and Consumer Brand Loyalty, Mediating Roles of Brand Engagements and Moderating Effect of Social Media Content Trusts. This thesis ably supervised by Professor Namdi Madichi, Professor Alexander Preko, and Professor Nathan Austin. Please put your hands together for the recipients. The next recipient of the Doctor of Philosophy in Marketing is Hachu Abdul Karim. The thesis title is Emotional Brand Attachment and Millennial Consumers' Smartphone Purchase Intentions, the intervening role of brand trusts, word of mouth, and perceived risk. This thesis supervised by Professor George Kofi Amwako, Professor Alexander Preko, Professor Henry Boateng, and Professor Bruno Skivinsky. Ladies and gentlemen, the next recipient of Doctor of Philosophy in Marketing is Musa Aishetu Clara. She worked on the thesis title Ghanaian Perception of Social Media Brand Content and Luxury Fashion Purchase Intention, the role of consumer online engagements. This thesis was supervised by Professor Nana Owusu Frimpong, Dr. Mrs. Juliana Akushika Ando, and Dr. Umu Makwe. Congratulations. We will turn our attention to the next recipient of Doctor of Philosophy in Marketing, and the recipient is Pepra Nancy Oforiwa. She worked on the thesis title Service System Well-Being and Customer Service Performance, the mediating roles of brand citizenship behavior and employer brand trusts. This thesis was ably supervised by Professor Kofi Osei Frimpong, Dr. Ibn Kailan Abdul Hamid, and Professor Frederick Doe. Please put your hands together for her. Finally, the last recipient of the Doctor of Philosophy in Marketing goes to Tagboto Thomas Elom. Please put your hands together as he comes. His thesis title is Political Integrated Marketing Communication Strategy, and voter choice in Ghana, the role of voter engagement. This interesting topic was supervised by Professor Nathan Austin, Professor Alexander Preko, Professor Kofi Osei Frimpong, and Dr. Ibn Kilan Abdul Hamid. Ladies and gentlemen, the award recipients.
Master of Philosophy in Accounting, Ahmed Hadija Irasum. Please come forward. Atta Emmanuel. Asantiwa Patience. Danso Nora. Numo Emmanuel na Osei Uso Emmanuel. Master of Philosophy in Leadership, Gackley Collins. Master of Philosophy in Finance, assuming Nana Ikwa. Mental Emmanuel Ohime. Master of Science in Procurement Management, Abdul Karim Ali. Deku Abigail. Adote Bright Yao. Edu Hilda. Agbo Angela Asiome. Akins Angelina Wilhelmina. Akron David Eugene. Al-Hassan Balikisu Idi. Amadu Kamiletu. Ameji Adeline Sichupe. Asamoah Nyama Rebecca. Asante Henrietta. Asare Konedu Ma Dukua. Asuma Zaid Ilham. Benya Florence. Boating Richard. Feno Ebenezer Brown. Gadri Francis. Klakani Kate Jidula. Mahama Irene. Mante Josephine Mausi. Mills Michael Angel. Nano Diana Asamoah. Ufosu Kevin. Ufosu Hene Rebecca Ohenewa. Osei Freddy Alexander. Pepram Kezia. Pupulampu Benis Buemli. Sapon Brenda. Yebua Grace. Yenite Benel Joshua. Pupulampu Benis Buemli. Master of Science in Leadership and Organizational Development, Ado Samuel Kofi. Adom Bonzi Emmanuel Ko. Adongo George. Aflo Arnold Bale. Bois Emmanuel. Dapa Richard. Dia Kweku Safo. Dufe Prince Kofi Glover Evelyn. Jampra Stephen. Kesi Ebenezer. Konedu Kelvin Kweku Lawa Amos. Nti Christian Obin Prince Afol Upon Threefa Owusu Menu Frank Owusu Frederick Yoma Owusu Samuel Samini Martin Bampo Tete Genevieve May Queen Tei Eje Solomon Mohammed Abdul Fattah. Master of Arts in Peace Security Intelligence Management, Abaka Emmanuel. Abbas Hussein Abdul Aziz Nuruddin Abdullah Francis Abugri Samuel Echampon Gaddafi Akolache de la Patrick Adam Genevieve Adam Gabe Atinsik Festus Eje Richmond Ajomani Vicentia Venunye Agbeli Gabriel Agbolosu Wisdom Ajiman Dominic Efriye Ajin Frimpong Eric Ahmed Mukaramatu Edu Benjamin Akitin Gani Joanita Wekoli Akpabli Patrick Akpai Bright Akrasi Edward Al-Hassan Mulaka Jibril, Al-Hassan Nana, Amelewu Joyce, Amidu Samuel, Rabi Wusa, Amwa Ronald Nso, Anima John Yao, Ansa Asare Prinsla, Nsroja Obed, Entry Peter Safo, Entry Chum Kwabena, Anwele Stephanie, Bibiana, Anyobode Joshua Kwame, Apao Vicentia, Arabongo Bensil Azuma, Ahimfo Christopher, Isiama Prince Ejekum, Obin David, Kwesi Avala Gordon Winnie Bodia, Agudu Muftau, Agudu Siedu Muntari, Babanao Bridget, Babohima Sarah Teni, Bempa Emilia, Beko Philip Enin, Boachi Agatha Dankwa, Boatin Mensa JC, Boatin James, Boche Emmanuel Okai, Boaben Magdalene, Boxton Aaron, Comey Charles, Cromwell Frank Marshall, Kujo Emanuela, Kujo Prince Sylvester, Kundo Benson, Gilbert Selassie, Dankwa Kweku Obeng, Dankwa Seth Labi, Daku Ajwa Trewa, Don Sanye Isaac Newton, Joamina Lydia, Ekwa Jirasan Prisla Esi, Ejohoho Akofa, Ekwago Hippolytus Eche, Ezua Augustine, Frimpong Loretta Cosmos, Frimpong Seth, Gauga Emmanuel, Genya Marian Aku, Gate Mold Betty, Hamid Mohammed, Hansen Norte Vera, Ibrahim Abdul Manan, Inusa Abdul Majid Nibisi, Inusa Salma, Isahaku Ibrahim, Isaka Indeguru. You want to take over?
Jebuni Francis, Kodia Ferdinand, Kotoku Ivy Elom, Pogo Thomas, Kwatin Frank Asumedu, Trematin Emmanuel Dakwa, Laye Frederick, Liwal Oscar, Mark Florence, Mahama Shaku, Mahamud Halid, Michaels Joseph, Mohammed Muntari, Na Dina, Indekugri Emmanuel Haruna, Nete Emmanuel, Norte Valentino Ni, Obuo Vincent Jaba, Oklu Lucas Jose, Odum Michael, Ofori Anthony, Ofori Yabua Grace, Ofosu Piasa Gideon, Ohine Bema Dina, Ohine Ebenezer, Ochre Mavis, Opari Dorinda, Osafuedu Rosemary Ohinewa, Owusu Buachi Matilda, Owusu Bernard Techi, Owusu Stephen Pepra, Ponku Seth, Kwansa Elijah, Kwashi Harold Mate, Saki Raymond, Saki Veronica, Sambo Bafua Janet, Sando Jacob Yao, Sapon Asante Henry, Smart Bless God's Brain, Sumaila Hudu Seidu, Sunu Elikem, Tosu Elom Fifi, Wadie Ernestina, Wilson Ida Kate, Worry Doris, Chekuta, Youngson Michaelina Baba, Yabua Ellen Ata, Yabua Joseph Simpe, Zobi Bright Kennedy, J. Cornelius Owusu, Aganjin Pius Awem Badek, Ata Mensa Douglas, Ayembila Fadil, Bawumia Mubarak, Beko Philip Enin, FAV Alfred Pa, Ibn Omar Shakib, Iwal Solomon Mawanye, Vienku James Bill, Master of Arts in Brands and Communication Management, Abdul Razak Aisha, Ajakpa Stanley Afetola, Agbakpe Yvonne Mawena, Alasan Baba, Banini Erica, Belson Margaret Bewa, Darko Charlotte Kwesibia, Dick Mami Inkechiaba, Evans Kekrebesi Constance Abra, Fuseini Anuwal Sadat, Gariba Sarah, Jima Francis, Krantain Priscilla Asuma, Kudaya Florence Koko, Kwache Loretta Efia, Mahama Naila, Mawunyako Precious, Mills Robertson Eura Ajua, Mohammed Abdul Hakim, Oblokute Rejoice Nako, Ofori Malwine, Osabukwe Karen Kate, Owusu Judith Nana, Robertson Barbara, Sapon Cecilia Akosia, Sapon Yao, Semaha Albertine, Tete Joel, Kwame, Yeboah Pearl, Adams Evans Kojo, Ajimandria Aduma, Kumi Esther Ajua, Oforiata Juliet. We'll turn our attention to Master of Arts in Digital and Strategic Marketing Management. Akom Karine, Ahia Blair Jennifer Aku, Ahoto Margaret, Amate Ernestina Otuku, Duku Akosia Jemfua, Edem Ametewe Seiram, Esibre Anan Baba, Krantain Loretta, Kreku Albert Estarios, Kweku Diodone Kosi, Otu Christopher, Sapon Ajua Ejekumwa, Seshi Daisy, Akom Karin, Amwa Mary, Ayomisi Stephanie Mausi, Esihine Kwesi Tete Christiana.
Will the graduating students in the School of Graduate Studies please stand and remain standing? The graduates, except the ladies, will take off their caps. Chancellor Sir, I, Dr. Michael Kwame Mixon, Acting Dean of the School of Graduate Studies, present to you those students of the School of Graduate Students who have successfully completed the degree requirements in this university and have been found worthy, both in character and in learning, to be admitted the degrees of Doctor of Philosophy in Marketing, Master of Philosophy Accounting, Master of Philosophy Finance, Master of Philosophy Leadership, Master of Science Procurement Management, Master of Science in Leadership and Organizational Development, Master of Arts, Peace, Security and Intelligence Management, Master of Arts, Digital and Strategic Marketing Management, Master of Arts, Brands and Communication Management of the University of Professional Studies. Those present and those unavoidably absent, whose names appear on the list, and for whom I stand proxy, I pray for the conferment of the degrees due them.
Acting Dean of the School of Graduate Studies, by the power vested in the Chancellor, by the Act of the University of Professional Studies, Accra, I, Dr. K.K. Sapon, Chancellor of the University, admit you all and severally to the degrees of the University of Professional, to the following degrees of the University of Professional Studies: Doctor of Philosophy, Marketing, Master of Philosophy in Accounting, Master of Philosophy, Finance, Master of Philosophy, Leadership, Master of Science, Procurement Management, Master of Science in Leadership and Organizational Development, Master of Arts, Peace, Security and Intelligence Management, Master of Arts, Digital and Strategic Marketing Management, Master of Arts, Brands and Communication Management. Aiko.
Please put on your caps and place the tassel to the left. And be seated. Congratulations.
Chancellor said, we would like to acknowledge the presence of some eminent traditional rulers who have graciously come this afternoon to grace this important congregation. I have on my list the representative of the Ga Manche, Ni Ahene Nonu the third, Ni Ahene Nunu the third, Paramount Chief of Upsa. Sir, we are very happy for your presence. We acknowledge you for your contribution. We also have His Royal Majesty Togbe Doglo Anuma VI, President and Paramount Chief of Aveno Traditional Council. He is also the Chief accompanying Mr. Hogle. We acknowledge your presence, Nana. We also have Ni Ajay Kofi the fourth, La Shikitele. We acknowledge your presence. We also have Ni Togbo Obodai Ampao the sixth, the Chief of Mimpasem. We are grateful for your presence. We also have Ni Solomon Tete de la Oshiame also in our midst. We acknowledge your presence. We also have a very important paramount chief in the person of Obuade Noche King, Professor Odaifio Wulenchi III, the paramount chief of Nungwa Traditional Area and president of the Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs. A very important personality who has come all the way to grace this occasion. We also have, and the president of the Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs, the Manche of Nungwa, came in the presence of a very strong entourage of traditional leaders of our land. We have Ni Aku Nipanka the fourth, the Nungwa Seiche. We also have Ni Otukwe the second, who happens to be the Nungwa Adonting. And then we have Tache Ni Laye Akwete the 10th, Nungwa Katamanso Manche. And we also have Ni Afote Srawa the 2nd, Nungwa East Legon Manche. All the traditional rulers who have come, we acknowledge your presence. UPSA, the council, the chancellor, the vice chancellor, and the rest of the management team are indeed grateful for your presence. At this moment, all those who are going out, the students, the event has not ended yet. Please return and resume your seat till we finish with a recession. The event is still in session. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We'll be out of here very soon. We thank you for your patience. I would like to acknowledge a few of our sponsors who continue to believe in the UPSA brand. We are most grateful to you. We would like to acknowledge the CEO of Ashanti Gold Chirano Ghana Mines, Engineer Sky, Marian Wilson, who is the Group HR Manager, Ashanti Gold Corporation, Engineer Stephen Asante Yamua, General Manager, Ashanti Gold Chirano Limited, Jedentia Fosuhima Asumaning, Regional HR Manager, Ashanti Gold Corporation, Franco Usumeinu, the Learning and Development Superintendent, Ashanti Gold Corporation. We are very